President planning to begin a cross-country tour this week. He's focusing on efforts to improve the economy. The president, he's facing some growing pressure over cost of living concerns that at times he has dismissed as a Democratic hoax. Axios reporting the president is planning to push back on those criticisms that he's not doing enough to bring down costs for the American people. And to help us break down his messaging on affordability, we have editor-in-chief of the National Review, Rich Lowry, here. Rich, good morning. So quite a bit to dive into on this front. Over the weekend, you had the president posting this on Truth Social. Gasoline hit $1.99 a gallon yesterday in certain states and is down big time since Biden. Other prices are almost all down. Biden caused the affordability crisis. I'm fixing it, along with everything else. So you had the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent. He doubled down on that messaging on Sunday. Here's the clip.
The Biden administration created the worst inflation in 50 years, and maybe for working Americans, the worst inflation of all time. And we have pulled that number down.
At the same time, though, you have polling, the most recent from the CVS YouGov poll, finding just 36% approve of the president's handling of the economy. That's down from 51% in early March. So clearly there's a disconnect here. What needs to happen between now and the midterms for Republicans to win on this issue? Do you believe it's possible?
Yeah, so I put an emphasis on that word, what needs to happen, which is a little different than what you need to say. Now, saying it's affordability hoax is terrible. It's awful. It's not going to work. Saying we inherited this crisis and we're trying to fix it, we're making some progress, that makes more sense to say. But at the end of the day, as we learned in the Biden years, it doesn't matter what you say about prices. It matters what people feel. And even though the inflation rate is down, prices are still up. When inflation goes down, that doesn't mean prices decline. That would take deflation, which would be another problem. So I think these nominal prices are the main thing driving the discontent on the economy, because even if inflation's 3% rather than 8%, everything's still more expensive, and people feel that. And this is a signature issue. For him to be at 36%, whatever it is, on the economy is a real flashing red light for the White House.
Right. So how will Americans feel any different in just these few weeks we have leading up to the midterms? So just weeks ago in a column, you warned that the president's tariffs, they're not helping manufacturing jobs specifically. The president last night defended the tariffs, and we have a bit of what he said here.
We're making so much money with tariffs that we'll also be able to make a nice dividend to middle-income people. We're talking about middle-income and lower-income people. We're not talking about dividends to rich people.
So will these tariffs lead to dividend checks for middle to lower-income Americans? And perhaps more importantly, do you think that will move the needle on the perception here of his handling on the economy?
Might help. I don't think it makes a lot of policy sense, because you're just taking money from people and then cutting them checks to give it back to them to kind of make them feel better. And the problem with tariffs, if they're raising revenue, someone's paying that. And the administration's theory is foreign countries or companies that are eating the tariffs, as they say. But that's not true. At least to some extent, they're filtering through to consumers, or the White House wouldn't have lifted the tariffs on about 100 or more foodstuffs, coffee and other things that were more expensive because of the tariffs. So I don't think this is helping. And their theory, how it's going to ultimately work, you get more manufacturing in the United States. If that's true, that's still a long-term process where you feel the price increases now. And finally, usually when you're an incumbent president of the United States first year, you can blame the other guy because none of your policies have taken effect yet because of how he's done the tariffs. These were instantaneously, in effect, Trump saying, I control the economy.
Right. I want to get to the latest. NewsNation Decision Desk HQ came out with some new numbers, an average that shows the president's approval rating just under 43%. Disapproval now at more than 53%. So when we widen the scope here, how much of a concern are those numbers for the party as we, again, look forward to the midterms here?
They're a big concern. That's a losing the House kind of number. Maybe it's not a Democratic tsunami kind of number. But that's the president's approval rating is what really drives midterm elections. And it's almost always the case with few exceptions. Biden did okay in his midterms. George W. Bush did really well in his midterms, but that was after September 11th. But usually you're the incumbent president, you're going to have a bad midterm, and everything points that way.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.